Hi, welcome to the Kristen and Jeff Fireside Chat. Today we're going to talk about getting into law school. Cheers. I'm Kristen Kelly.
And I'm Jeff Althaus.
So, getting into law school, that's a big one.
Yeah, it's not fun. We always get a lot of questions to both of us about what we had to do to get into law school, how hard was it, and what should people be doing to plan ahead so they can get into law school too. So instead of trying to talk you out of it today, we're going to give you answers to all those questions. So what do you most remember about trying to get into law school, Kristen?
So for me, it was the personal statement. Of all of the things that you have to do to get into law school, I thought that was the worst by far. It was for, I can't remember if it was 1 or 2 pages, but 1 or 2 pages, some random information about you that makes you a great candidate to get into law school. If you've ever written cover letters, it's like writing a cover letter, but about 15 times worse than that. When I went to tour some law schools, one of the stories that stuck out with me was somebody was applying for law school who was a refugee from an African country who escaped in the middle of the night when his village was being attacked by machetes. That's an amazing story, but a lot of us, fortunately, don't have stories like that, and finding what to write about was really a struggle for me. How was it for you?
It was terrible. I actually don't even want to talk about what I wrote in mine because I went back and read it the other day and it was hilarious. I think I talked about some car detailing business that I had owned in high school. It wasn't good. It worked though. Yeah, the personal statement was terrible and you have to customize them. Did you customize yours for every single school that you applied to?
I did not.
I did.
I did not, but I made my topic very, I don't know, where it would work for every school.
Broad?
Broad, that would be the word. Lawyering, big words. Yes, I talked about overcoming obstacles, all of the debacles, I believe was a word. Actually, I know for a fact that was a word I used. All of the debacles in my life and how I overcame them and learned from them. But that fit for me personally because I had a lot of different hurdles to talk about. If I only had one hurdle, that might have been a lame topic and I might not have gotten into law school.
Yeah. What else sucked about applying to law school?
The LSAT.
The LSAT really sucks. One recommendation real quick, take any course you can, get a book, do something to study for the LSAT. I did not do that, and I wish I could go back and retake that because that affects scholarships that you get, how costly law school is going to be for you, what schools you will get into. A lot of people look at the LSAT score. That's not to scare the crap out of people and make you think, oh my God, this is the most important test I'm ever going to take. It's not, but just doing anything you can to prepare more and get a better score, definitely recommend that.
This is the first time I'm hearing that you just showed up for the LSAT.
Yeah,
I'm both shocked and not shocked at the same time. I took a different approach. I got the Kaplan 1,000-some page book and self-studied for the LSAT. I only recommend that if you're a freak of nature and you love school and you can be dedicated to it. Otherwise, you probably need to take some sort of course or get a tutor.
I would do the course. It does not surprise me one bit that you got a 10,000 page book and read the whole thing.
Yeah, I did. I did all of the exercises too.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, well,
No.
We already went to law school. One of the big things with the LSAT, so a lot of people are familiar with the ACT, where you can just take that however many times and the colleges are just gonna look at your top score. With the LSAT, you really need to take it once and be done. Schools will see all of your scores. They wanna know why you didn't just do well the first time. And the LSAT is only offered 4 times a year. So you don't wanna be scurrying around taking that over and over. Do you remember how long the LSAT itself was?
I do not. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, I had to just Google it. It's 210 minutes in 6 segments, which works out to half a day. Before the bar, that was probably the worst test I'd ever taken.
The bar is the worst test.
I said
ever.
before the bar.
I'm just saying, the bar sucks.
We'll talk about that later. What about one of the other requirements, getting your bachelor's degree. Any thoughts or tips on that for people who haven't graduated from undergrad?
Yeah, go to the University of Iowa. Go Hawks. The bachelor's degree was the easiest part about getting into law school. Not that getting a bachelor's degree is easy, but everything else to me was way less fun. I loved undergrad. I know a lot of people that didn't like where they went to school and had a really boring time. This girl. Iowa may not be known for much, but the Hawkeyes have a great school, so.
Okay, enough about Iowa.
Way better than Missouri, that's all I'm saying.
False. Iowa is full of corn and corn people, I'm sure, having never really been.
Play football anytime you want. Or wrestling. Or basketball.
Anyway, one thing on the degree, people ask a lot, well, should I get a degree in political science or poli-sci or philosophy? My general response to any of those degrees is no, never. Why? To get into law school, it's not like going to med school where you need to get a biology degree or something along that. You can get literally any bachelor's degree and get into law school. I would recommend getting something in both an area that interests you and somewhere else that if you end up, for whatever reason, not going to law school, you have a marketable training. Degree in philosophy, I mean, feel free to hate on me in the comments, but there's not as much that you can do with a philosophy degree as you can with a business degree, for example. So get a degree in something that makes sense, not something that you think is going to help you in law school. I would say the classmates I knew that were philosophy, poli-sci majors, first off, they were immediately evident and they had a leg up for about 1 week of classes. And then they probably had a downsize because they were so busy talking in big flowy language that they were missing the point.
It's not to say if you already have one of those degrees, don't apply to law school, because a ton of people in law school have those, and law schools will look favorably on them, but they really look at any degree. Just to give you some background, I had a business degree in marketing, and I went to law school and got in fine. I think the moral of the story is the degree doesn't matter as much as other schools. So do what interests you, what you think is fun, and something you would actually enjoy doing if, like Kristen said, you didn't go to law school.
Yes, and I believe the last piece, besides actually applying, is letters of recommendation.
Yeah, those are very key. I think different schools have different requirements for how many they ask for. Don't ever do less. And if they give a range, don't ever do the bare minimum. And one piece of advice I have just from, I've reviewed applications and stuff before for scholarships and different awards, but one thing we looked for was that they come from a variety of sources. So don't get all of your letters of recommendation from the college you went to. Employers, just people in the community, if you're involved in your church, charitable organizations you've worked for, just try to get one from everywhere. So, don't get 100. That's actually going to hurt you because they're not going to read your application then. But if they ask for 5, get 5 different sources. That would be my recommendation on letters of recommendation.
Highly recommend, and also ask for those early, because I don't know about you, but that was what took the longest because my people took a long time. They wrote really great things, but it was down to the wire to get those in time. What about some general advice?
General advice on getting into law school or even thinking about applying, make sure it's something you really want to do. I know a lot of my friends just didn't know what to do, so applied to law school. I don't think that's the greatest idea. Then you go through law school and decide you don't want to be an attorney, and now you have tons of debt. I cannot stress how much debt you will have after law school unless you get like a full ride. Congrats if you did that. I did not. But yeah, I would make sure it's something you really want to do. Do some research, talk to some attorneys, maybe job shadow a few. And ask them their kind of opinion, knowing you, what they would recommend for you.
I would add on a different note, when you go tour law schools or you get information in the mail or more likely your email, one of the big things that you're going to get is how many people apply versus how many people are actually accepted. And those numbers are going to be daunting. You're going to think, oh my gosh, thousands of people are turned away. Don't let that discourage you from applying. I don't know for a fact, but I strongly believe that some of those are incomplete applications. So still, if you want to go, put your name out there. And for timing considerations, I ended up taking a February LSAT. And so I waited until the following year to apply because I thought the scholarship fund pool would be a lot bigger. And that worked out really well for me. I got $90,000 in scholarships that I probably wouldn't have otherwise gotten. I don't know for a fact that worked, but something to consider as far as how much scholarship money is available, because at least when we went to law school always started in August. It's not rolling admissions like an undergrad where you could start summer, fall, or spring.
Yeah. I think that's all I've got.
Yeah, same. Good luck.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah.